Hello there, guys and girls. Nick Dutch, just replying to a few private messages. Here we go. The first one says, "Hey Nick, I saw one of your videos when you explained your views on God and spirits, and you said that once you encountered a black spirit in the shape of a man. I've seen them before on multiple occasions. During one of them, it tried to kill me. Wondering if you have any tips on dealing with them." Well, firstly, I would be skeptical about the idea that it tried to kill you. Okay, I've never seen or heard of any form of spirit being which actually has sufficient power to be able to do any damage to another human being. So you had a strange personal experience that was frightening in nature. As far as tips in dealing with them is concerned, very difficult to say. Apart from you can try and disbelieve in them, and you can try and put up some form of visualized protection around yourself and use as much faith and possibly holy names to be able to give it more strength, because that's a good form of psychological suggestion. If these things are affected by the mind, then using the mind to protect yourself against them would make a lot of sense. But remember, a strange personal experience, no matter how frightening it is just a strange personal experience, and we can't say precisely what it means, so do be skeptical about the things which you yourself experience. The next paragraph says, "I'm wondering if you've ever shape-shifted in dreams, or is it possible to do so during astral projection?" First one, yes, I wrote about that in, oh god, TransDeism and Sceptical Occultism, and I've also gone into that in Astral Projection and Sceptical Occultism and TransDeism and Divination are the books I've written. In Astral Projection and Sceptical Occultism, towards the back, there is a section upon a werewolf transformation dream stroke astral projection experience that I had. All I can say is that that sort of experience can happen, and I've given some very brief information in Astral Projection and Sceptical Occultism about that. So get the book and read it, essentially. Now, it also says, I found myself using weapons in dreams, usually made of gold and bronze colored metal. Do you know anything significant about that? Well, symbolically, gold is divine because it doesn't rust or corrode in any way whatsoever, and therefore that's why we humans give it extra value. So essentially it could just be a reference to something divine. Now, bronze itself is given in some forms of mythology some extra form of power because it's the technology which came before the Iron Age. And some people believe, and I think this is a belief rather than a fact, that when the Iron Age came, it created a massive theological change, which then got rid of all of the goddess magic orientated religions. So therefore iron is regarded as evil and bronze is regarded as being good or holy in some other traditions. Whether the Iron Age did create such a theological change in the world or not is another issue entirely, and I think that that's more of a belief than an actual fact, so we've got to be skeptical about that. But bronze has more of a, both bronze and copper have more of a magical meaning to people of a more earth-orientated religious orientation. So maybe that's part of the way in which you are thinking. You then says, also you talked about interacting with people during astral projection and they would see it in their dreams. Can you tell me anything more about that? Well, the bottom line is try and do an astral projection and go and visit someone when they're sleeping and see what happens. You can try and do this in a deep form of meditation when you are using astral projection related visualizations to try and attempt exteriorization. Although you may not be fully experiencing astral projection exteriorization completely and totally, you may still get the experience of sharing dreams with people, because that just does seem to happen occasionally if you do that particular variety of exercise. Finally, it says here, one final thing, have you read any of Carl Jung's works, and if so, what did you think of them? Quite interesting points of view. Yeah, if you want to use them, you can. But remember, he's just a person with some ideas. They aren't necessarily facts. So you can see whether you agree with it or not. I'm not going to try and spoon feed you with ideas saying that Carl Jung is amazing and he's the best. I think both Jungian and Freudian dream analysis say an awful lot about us, and they're very useful ways of contemplating what symbols mean to us.